where I was sitting down there. Start off by an apology for our President Joe Gantley, who was called away at fairly short notice last night, so forgive me if I stumbled. For those of you who may not have been living in Cork for the last 15 years, my name is Robin O'Sullivan. I'm a past President of the Chamber, and I'm happy to welcome you all here this morning to our breakfast briefing. As usual, thanks to our media partners, the Irish Examiner, Bill Denton is here representing the paper this morning, and we're delighted to have a very special speaker. Before we get to that though, there are a couple of things that one does at a time like this. The event is being webcast. Roland Steinmetz, as usual, from Shared Vision, is responsible for that and is available afterwards. And we're delighted to welcome Roland's father, who is visiting us this morning, from home, I suppose, Roland. So that's a nice little added piece for Roland this morning as well. Okay, we have two new members at the top table. This is something that we've introduced in the last few months, and we're delighted to welcome Donal Malloy of HR Consult, which is a local Cork-based HR and HR training consultancy formed in 2006, provide professional HR services to small and medium-sized businesses, and Adrian Roach of WordPerfect Translations, which is a wholly owned Irish company specialising in interpretation and translation services. So both Adrian and Donal are most welcome to be with us this morning at the top table. Now, the main event. We're delighted to be joined this morning by the Chief Executive of Post, Mr. Donal Connell. We're talking to Donal, and these are exciting times for An Post. He acknowledges that may come as a surprise to some people who think of An Post as being relative of the past, a bit like myself, rather than of the future. But as he will tell us, that is absolutely wrong. He was appointed Chief Executive on the 14th of August in 2006, began his career, appropriately enough, in the then Department of Posts and Telegraphs, and has held senior management positions in Unitrode Ireland, 3Com Ireland, and Maxtor Ireland, where he was General Manager before joining An Post. He is a non-executive director of Xilinx Corporation European Board and of Postbank Ireland Limited, and also, particularly this morning, relevant, Chairman of An Post National Lottery. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Donal Connell.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for the very kind introduction, Robin. And very impressed how you silenced the audience, got between them and their breakfast, which is never an easy thing to do. But thank you very much to the Chamber for inviting me here this morning to talk about some of the things we're working on in An Post. And I think most of you will know An Post is a very well-known company, a very well-known brand in Ireland, and we are really a national service provider in the communications, postal delivery and financial services space. So I want to outline for you some aspects of the environment we work in, the market we work in, and some of the plans we're working on to take us through the next few years to enable us to continue to be at the heart of Irish business. It's a very interesting time for An Post. The mails market in the next few years is going to be fully liberalised, fully open to competition. At the moment, about 62% of An Post's mail revenue is open to competition, but this process will be fully completed in a couple of years' time. And I want to outline to you today the issues that we're working on to position the company to best continue to service the Irish consumer in that environment. But first of all, I want to mention something about what we do here in the Cork area. Cork is at the centre of our mails and retail operations for the southern region, both as a key mails hub and as an administrative centre for the area. On the mail side, we've over 1,000 staff in the area, about 700 collection and delivery in Cork, and 250 in the Cork Mail Centre, which is a processing plant that we have here. On the retail side, we have about 300 plus staff working in 383 company and franchise retail offices across the southern region headquartered in Cork. I'm delighted to see some of our key management team here in the audience today. As many of you will be aware, for our mails business, We are currently dealing with the issue of the provision of services under what's called our universal service obligation on the mail side, and also the equally significant issue of the EU-led liberalisation of postal services, and of course the ongoing business, most important of all, of meeting our customer requirements and our commercial imperative. During last year, Post on the mail side is a massive operation. During last year we processed about 3.5 million items of mail per day. It's a huge number, and a figure which rises to about 8 million, it peaks at about 8 million per day in the Christmas period. Now, so this is an immense operation. This is by far the most comprehensive and high volume logistics operation in the country. It's big in scale, big in terms of volume, big in terms of national reach. And we've used automation increasingly in our processing plants. And in many cases we were able to sort, we have 4 processing plants nationwide, a large one here in Cork as I mentioned. In many cases we sort our mail down to what's referred to as route level, postman's delivery route level automatically, which increases our efficiency and quality. We're also growing our mails business, which is a little bit surprising to some people. Robin was mentioning to me there that he greeted me, he said, "Hello, how do you like working in a declining business," or words to that effect this morning. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But we grew our mails volume in 2006 by over 4%. And we will grow by a similar amount in 2007 when we announce our results in a few weeks' time here. And our plans are for continued growth this year. We're a little bit unique in West European countries in that regard. Most mails markets are flat or declining. The reason the growth here is driven, of course, the strength of the economy is a big help, but we've invested in marketing, customer liaison, improving quality, all of which helps to improve our volume. This growth, I should say as well, occurs predominantly in the business to consumer category. Most mail volume is actually business originating. Consumer originating mail is 10% or less. One issue that we face is making sure that the market liberalisation mechanism works effectively for the consumer in Ireland. And a 2-year period has been allowed, transition period, to enable economies to move more into this liberalised mails market, because there is a challenge for postal operators in ensuring the viability of what's referred to as the universal service obligation, and that is the obligation that a trust has to provide the infrastructure to deliver mail and collect mail 5 days a week to every address in the country. So we maintain the infrastructure to do that, and we maintain that cost, and that cost is there regardless of the volume of mail that we process. We welcome the challenges that the open market will bring, and we're confident of being able to survive and be successful in a fully liberalised market. And we've come a long way, I think, in facing the realities and in delivering a better service to our customers. We also have a long way to go, we recognise this, but we are focused on improving our customer quality, particularly as we enter into the open market. There is, however, an issue in relation to the loss-making USO, Universal Service Obligation. As I think it's easy for most people to understand that, the mails business in a city like Cork can be quite successful, but we maintain the same pricing level as to deliver a letter from, for example, Douglas to Middleton, as from Letterkenny to Valentia Island, and clearly the cost structure is very different. So as the mail market opens to competition, it's important that this market opening handled in such a way that the universal service obligation, which we maintain the infrastructure in place to deliver nationwide in areas that are often low volume and maybe not as commercially attractive, that be recognised, I think, in some way. In the UK, for example, where they've had an open market for some time, they're looking at the possibility of zonal pricing, which is basically charging different prices for postal services depending on the distance between the point of posting and the point of delivery. And that's because full market liberalisation there has caused unexpected problems. Many new entrants to the market took the opportunity to insert large volumes of pre-sorted, ready-sorted mail into the UK delivery system downstream of their large central processing hubs.